Good morning, Donna. I am trying to stay as warm as possible. I hope you are as well. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, Kevin. Welcome to the stream, Kevin. Hope it's the weather's treating you well down in South Carolina. Warm in Mississippi. It's one of the first words that I remember, as a young child, learning how to spell was Mississippi. Grew up on the muddy banks of the Mississippi, but in Minnesota, Wisconsin. .38 in South Carolina. Good morning, Gayla. Seven inches of snow in Mississippi. Wow. Can someone send me some? I'm at rock bottom. Thanks. It's funny. I like the name Bill Gates. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Will, from Connie and Kevin. Hope you're enjoying your coffee. I am. I really am enjoying this coffee. It's a new one from Black Rifle Coffee Company. What I'm drinking this morning. I don't know which one this is because my wife poured them into the jar. So it's not this. I was getting the silencer from them, but I don't know which one this one is. I have to find the other bag, and I think she put it in the pantry. I just didn't have time to go look for it this morning. Hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee or tea yourself. Morning, Linda. I see you. I all hope you're all well. I hope you are as well. Connie, you're getting quite a bit of snow here in upper state New York. I think we've got about 14 inches that is still on the ground. Good morning, Carla. Oh, thank you, Linda. I am having a great cup of coffee. I like this. It's kind of like whatever it is. I mean, I know it's from Black Rifle Coffee Company, but I don't know what the actual roast it is. But it's good. Thank you for hazelnut. Yeah, these don't have flavors like hazelnut or vanilla. I'm sure that they have them. It's just not the ones that I'm drinking. This is I think it's a medium roast. Good morning, K-Love. Live chat reminder. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, K-Love. Good morning, Reichardt. Oh, good morning, Oma. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Lori. Or Beth. Good morning, everyone. Scroll up here for a minute. Good morning, Slick Willie. Just joking, Will. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you too as well, Reichart. Jacqueline Ashton. Good morning. Sup, Will? Not much. Not much. Just sitting here, chatting with friends. Later on, me and Tim are going to go to a indoor golfing facility where they re-grip clubs and they, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe this place. They do a little bit of everything when it comes to golf. They driving range. They have a simulator. They do clubs. A little bit of everything. But me and Tim are going to go there, hang out for a couple hours. Check out the place, and then later on tonight we're going to go play Texas Hold'em with friends. Good morning. Roads are slippery in College Place. I forgot that you're down there, College Place. I got a lot of friends down by you, College Place and in Walla Walla. Good morning, Snowy Photography. Sorry, I missed some people here. Last week we skate here in the Netherlands. It's now 16 degrees. Wow, that's cold. Well, at least it is for me. 16 degrees. I'm sure it's cold for a lot of people. Linda, I love my French press coffee great cup ever. When made in a French press. I drink. Well, we have a French press. It's glass. I think we've probably used it twice. But we have one of those percolator espresso machines that you put on a burner. We've got one of those, and then we have a drip coffee maker. I've got one in here, just over there, out of view. But we also have one in the kitchen. We drink way too much coffee for K cups and stuff like that. For a Keurig. Oh, Mom, doing well. How about you? How are you doing? I'm doing good. What you been up to? This is it. Just working. Can't do much. There's a park close to my house with your name. Finley or William? I've wanted to go down to the Finley Forest. I know that's down towards you. Kevin R. Morning, dude. Have you seen the Chris Watts documentary on Netflix? What kind of cigs are you smoking? Do you smoke weed? Kevin, let's see. Let's start off the first one. Have I seen the documentary of Chris Watts on Netflix? Part of it. I've seen part of that documentary. What kind of cigarettes do I smoke? I smoke Marlboro Menthol. Do I smoke weed? No, sir. I do not smoke weed. But thank you for asking. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. If to each their own, right? McCafe brand dark roast. You can buy the McCafe roast in our grocery stores here locally. Kroger stores carry it. Morning, Carpe Diem. Carol Ricker, you live in Eastgate. Ooh, I see you. You had your first COVID vaccine on Monday. I see you. And my wife and my daughter have both had. They had the Madurum. They got the Madurum shots, and it's a two-part, couple weeks apart from each other. But they've both had theirs because they're in the healthcare industry. My wife works in. I can't say the name of the company, but She works for the company that I'm trying to describe. I think how to describe them. Well, they're not a full-fledged laboratory, at least not where she is at her site. But the company has multiple laboratories all across the United States. But they are a pathology laboratory, and normally, but because of COVID, they switched a lot of their satellite labs over to doing testing and processing of COVID samples. I play Texas Hold'em. Reminds me of my sons. Love playing Texas Hold'em. Yeah, we'll play. I think it's going to be it's a lower stakes game. Most of the people who will be there tonight will be in their 60s, 70s. Most of them are retirees. There's only, I think, besides me and Tim. Sorry, I got to sneeze and I don't want to. Besides me and Tim, there are three other. Oh, I can feel that coming for a while. Besides me and Tim, there are three others who still work, and the rest of our friends are all retired. So we take very high precautions. Everybody has to have a recent COVID test for to be there. We check temperatures. Everything is sterilized. This is a house game. It's not like we're going to like a big casino or anything. I mean, these are friends who pretty much have been shut in, and we get out once a month to gather. And the only reason why we're doing it this week, we normally do it the first weekend of the month, but we're doing it this weekend because, well, the snowstorm that we got, and that pretty much screwed everything up. But we'll get there tonight. Carol, you love your Keurig. Yeah, I mean, I know they have the reusable pot thing that you can put in there and then put your own coffee in it. It's just, I drink way too much. William Fidley Park. That's cool. Both names. Yeah, I want to get down to the Findlay Forest and then have my picture taken in front of the sign. I think that'd be cool as hell. To get my picture taken in front of the sign for the Findlay Forest and then send it to all my relatives. I was thinking about getting it made on a Christmas card. I would have to have an old-fashioned percolator. Yeah. Well, we drink way too much coffee here. My wife drinks more tea than coffee, and so does my daughter. I mean, she doesn't drink coffee at all, but she drinks a lot of tea. Short, nice. Good morning. Hey, everyone. I just used the phrase each to their own. On a comment, someone was shaming me. LOL. On another channel, that is. Well, don't let anybody do that to you. Short, nice. And good morning, and welcome to the stream. Faithful one, good morning. Judy Socket. Did you ever watch the Tom Snyder? Oh, yeah. I used to love watching Tom Snyder on his original late night show. I used to love watching Tom Snyder. I love his voice. Good morning, Debbie. Yes, I'm 62, but I have poor immune system. Hopefully, I'll be protected in 3 weeks. I had the Oxford, not turned green yet. My wife said after she got hers that she now has 5G. It's a joke. People think that the 5G towers is what's causing all this. It's one of the conspiracy theories out there when it's surrounding COVID. But she said that now she's gotten both her shots, she has 5G service. Brent, good morning. Well, hope you are having a great Saturday, mister. I am. I'm gonna relax and hang out with my friend, and then we're gonna go play Texas Hold'em tonight with more friends. We do kind of when we get together for these poker nights, we do kind of like a potluck. And I made a cheese platter. It was cheese and fruit. I did 5 different kinds of cheeses, and there's grapes, 2 different kinds of grapes, and then I did chocolate dip strawberries in there as well. So yeah, it's probably you can buy like the plastic or aluminum reusable containers at the store that have lids for them. It's probably a foot and a half, in circumference, somewhere in there. It's a pretty good size, cheese platter. Wow, my fingers need strong cup of something so they get working. Don't worry about it. I you should see me in the mornings in here, Linda. I'm typing away trying to reply to comments, and I'm like, I'll hit like 2 or 3 of the same letter, and it's not the keyboard, it's me. Coffee reminds me of camping coffee. The one in my video. Bantersaurus Rex. Good morning. Stay positive. You too. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could be here this morning. Oh, there's a bunch of comments there I might have missed. All right, I got to run. Bye, Oma. Thank you for stopping in. You stay safe out there and have a great week ahead. Sounds like fun Saturday, to be honest. It's my day off, so I'll be relaxing day. And that sounds delicious. Love cheese and fruit together. Yeah. Me and Tim, we're not the best of friends, we're terrible friends. Because normally when we get together for these potlucks, we forget that we have to bring something for the potluck. So we always end up rushing to the grocery store and buying like either fried chicken, or we buy like a bunch of different kinds of potato chips. And everybody is, they kind of assume that, it's like, oh, they're always going to bring chips. They're always going to bring fried chicken or something from a deli somewhere. That's just who we are, because we always forget. We know it's coming up, but then we forget. And then we're like, well, with 20 minutes before we have to be there, we better go to the grocery store and get something. But I actually went out of my way and remembered this time, not only to buy something to put it all in, but to buy all the stuff to actually make it. So we'll see how it goes tonight, if everybody likes it. Yep, LOL, me too. But I say my fingers never enter in one of spelling bee. Without Grammarly, you wouldn't want to see half of what I type. Brandy James, good morning from sunny North Carolina. Good morning, Brandy James. Lisa Irwin, good morning, all you nice people. Good morning. Welcome, both of you, to the stream this morning. I hope you're doing great. Good morning, Reba. Welcome to the stream, Reba. I hope you're staying safe and warm out there. Cheese and fruit. I was going to buy something else like fruit wise to put in there, but there wasn't a heck of a lot of selection fresh wise that was in our local grocery store. Well, thank you for the super chat. Leave it to Beaver. Just saying good morning. Hope you all as well stay safe, warm, everyone. Well, thank you. Leave it to Beaver. That's my Beaver. If you guys haven't checked out her channel, you need to go check out Leave It to Beaver's YouTube channel. Great content. You're watching from Louisiana. I think what happened was a storm came in from Canada along the west coast and then dipped down like this, and then it's slowly moving across the United States from west to east, and it's just nailing everybody, because a couple of days after this, we got the snow and the cold and everything else. That's when Texas got hit, and I'm sure it's moving into Tennessee, Louisiana, and into Mississippi. Grammarly, FTW. I gotta drink more coffee Took me a minute to figure that out. Still snowing in Idaho. Can't wait until spring. I watch Leave It to Beaver every weekday morning on Me TV on your TV. I try to catch her streams as much as I can. I don't have a chance to comment because when Leave It to Beaver goes live is normally when I'm at home with just my 4-year-old, so it's just the two of us, and I got to pay more attention to him because I never know what he's going to do. He's a handful some days. He's got way more energy than I do. KS, good morning from Utah. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Crystalina Bacteria, welcome from the UK. I hope you're doing well. Gayla Tetson, my son is in Arkansas. Said it was -2 degrees last week. I drink maybe 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day. Some tea at night. Yeah, let's see. We have these are 12-cup coffee makers. So I'll go through 12 cups of coffee a day, easy. Yeah, Erwin, TV means a real show with Wally and the Beaver. Oh, Wally and the Beaver, that one. Not Leave It to Beaver. Beeb. Well, she still has great content either way. I haven't watched. I used to watch that and Father's Knows Best, and there's some really good shows like that they were made in the 50s and 60s that I really enjoy. I used to watch a lot of older TV. I couldn't stand a lot of like TV, that was what was on TV in the 80s, except for Mork and Mindy. We'll be glad when lockdown is over and driving me nuts. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're just now getting to the second wave of it here where I am. Eric Harris, welcome from Chicago. I'm actually wearing my Chicago Cubs shirt right now. Yeah. There's my little cubby bear. We had minus temps on and off for over a week here in England. So painful. Wow, especially if you're not prepared for it. I was talking to a friend of mine who I guess you could call it the deep south. She's in Florida, and they were ill prepared for cold temperatures. Anything below 40 degrees, they're like, they're not ready for it. They don't own winter coats or anything. They thought they moved to Florida to escape all this cold, but they got nailed. Your favorite is the Honeymooners, Jackie Gleason. KS, I'm 50. Father's Knows Best. I can picture him smoking his pipe and sitting in a chair, kind of like my wife's purple chair, with his cardigan on. And Father Knows Best. That was a good show. Perry Mason. I joke around that I'm kind of like the detective, Perry Mason's detective, Mr. Paul Drake. I'm like Paul Drake to a couple other people, who are yeah. That's a good show. Crystalina Bacteria. I had the vaccine last Wednesday. I hope you took it well. Well, my wife and my daughter both got their second Madura vaccine. Both of them were really, really sick for about 2 days afterwards. But they're fine now. My three sons, yeah. I think I can remember like the intro to that. It was like feet, wasn't it? My three sons. Do you think Robert Blake killed Bonnie Lee Blakely? Yes, unfortunately. The guy who played Paul Drake for the part of for Perry Mason, but Burr got it. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Hmm. I know Paul Drake. I believe it was his son, or maybe it was his stepson, who went on to do acting as well. Madura's second one only had a sore arm. Good morning, Tracy Ann. No. Chatterbox, to answer your question, no. The car was not in her name. It was in the name of the company, Thrive. It was a lease to them, and then she got the car for free. She didn't have to make any monthly payments on it, but she did have a monthly maintenance plan that she paid into for the car, and she was required to cover the car underneath insurance. That car ended up going to IAA, and you're gonna have to give me a minute to figure out what that means. That's their initials, IAA, auto auctions. They mainly deal with cars that have been in accidents and they resell them. They're not a scrapyard per se, but they do a deal with a lot of cars and vehicles, fleet vehicles that have been in accidents. But the car went up for sale there in IAA in Denver and was sold off to another company, and then I lost track of it. But there was a point where you could track it by the VIN number. All you had to do was know the. I used to have the VIN number written down, and then you could actually trace it through that way by going and doing a Carfax on it. But I lost track of it. Like Texas was not prepared. Texas governor screwed all the Texan senators. Ted Cruz left for Cancun, Mexico, as his state residents suffered with no electricity or running water. I saw that on the news. Was the lease in just the company? The lease for the car was leased. Well, I'm trying to figure out what your actual question is. Was the car leased in just the company's name, or was Shannon's name anywhere on the title? No, her name was never on the title or registration for the car. Well, technically, her name was on the registration, but the note holder was the bank. They held the title. The registration was to the company with Shannon's name. I guess that it depends on how you look at it, I guess. But no, her name was never on the title. It was a leased vehicle, and they leased it for 1 year period of time, and they gave the free leased vehicle out to the top tier sellers. That was one of the perks that they got. Make us $1 billion, and here's a couple of bucks for you in the use of a free car. But yeah, Texas really got hit. I got friends that live down in Texas that moved down there, vacation, retirees. But we call them snowbirds and they weren't expecting it at all. They were in their house. They didn't go anywhere for what, 4 days, 5 days, something like that. I think Chris was raised evil. Yeah, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, Tracy. Don't fall too far from the tree. Ellen K. Cruz can make himself look bad on his own. Oh, Ted Cruz. Yeah, I haven't read too much about it. I just know that I saw something on the news about that he had taken off to Cancun, and I think he returned after the backlash or something like that. But it's not a don't make it a political thing. It's one party versus another. It's that's what politicians do. They collect your tax dollars. They say they're acting in your best interest. Most of them have no desire to act, to do anything for your best interest. They want to get reelected. They'll do enough to get reelected, but they're more there for the special interest, who's going to line their pockets with the most money. The days of Mr. Smith goes to Washington, to do good for, his constituents, those days are long over. Sure, there are ones that are not as as bad as others, but I hate politics. It's just never been something that I enjoy talking about or following, myself. So Chris Watts became evil and he thought he was above all means. He was man, a other girl looking, making him feel perfect. He had the pimp mentality. I don't know anything about that, James. I'm sorry. I'm sure that people have been talking about it, but I don't know anything about possible sightings for Nicole. If her name is even Nicole anymore. That was all sealed. Okay. Gayla, I don't know anything about it. I just know that there was something on the news, that I was reading about that he left for Cancun. I don't know what he was going there for, or if it was vacation and then he returned early. I don't know. Don't follow it. That's the absolute truth. I don't follow politics. It's not something that I do. Crystallina bacteria, about steroids, they call it roid rage. I found nothing in my entire thing. If we're still talking about Christopher Watts, I found nothing at all in any of my research on that case that said that he actually took steroids. Now, there is a possibility that the patches that he was taking from Thrive, they may have an organic. There might be something in the patch itself that is kind of like an organic steroid, but he was never prescribed steroids, and I couldn't find anything that said that he was taking anything more than just the patches and eating better. Huh? I don't know. There's no reason to be sorry, Chatterbox. I have no idea what you possibly said. I think I'll stop my foot stuck down my throat. Okay, I thought there wasn't supposed to be a drive. Because it's in Shannon's name only. That was the story. The story was that Chris Watts wasn't allowed to drive the Lexus because it was in Shannon's name, but he did. He drove it on several occasions, and didn't drive his work truck because they only had the one personal vehicle. There are times when he would drive it and then he would park it on the street. And yeah, like when Shannon was down in visiting family and he came back early, he had moved the car out of the garage and actually parked it on the street. Now that's according to the statement that was released by the neighbors. But he drove the car, it didn't drive it every day, but he drove it, occasionally. His version of the story is that he wasn't allowed to drive it because it was in Shannon's name. Then again, what do you believe? Where do you draw the line on what's the truth and what isn't the truth? For things that come out of his mouth, it's really hard to judge what really is the truth and what isn't, because when an habitual liar opens their mouth, you can bet that a lot of what they're saying is not true, that it's been skewed, or if nothing else, in their favor. So he's a basic idiot. There's no reason to be sorry, Chatterbox. No reason at all. You don't feel stupid. Wish I had the answer to that one, Judy. What kind of person could do this to their family? I don't know. I have no idea. It's always been one of the things that's always been really difficult for me, is to be able to wrap my head around, how can somebody hurt an innocent child? I mean, I could go down this rabbit hole forever talking about Christopher Watson and some of the things that he did. But just try to mentally put yourself in that position of what he did that morning. He killed his wife, but he killed both his daughters. And then he took them up a flight of industrial stairs and then had to cram them through a small opening on the top of an oil tank. And in case you're not familiar with these oil tanks that he put his daughters in, there are 10 bolts, minimum. I didn't actually count the tanks. I've seen the pictures. There might be 12, but they're normally 10 to 12 bolts that hold the lids on those tanks. He had to unbolt the lid from the tank, put Bella in, and then unbolt the other tank lid and put Cece in, Celeste. Can someone logically think about what they're doing and have remorse at that point? I don't know. I don't know how somebody can do something like that. You're close there. I see you. He falls more into the line of a psychopath, but he also has, some of the tendencies of a sociopath. And if besides going down that rabbit hole of what the difference is between a sociopath and a psychopath, but he definitely does show some of a little bit of both. Well, hello, Sunshine. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. And yes, he checks off every single box on the sheet for diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder. He checks every single box for someone who has narcissistic personality disorder, but he's never been clinically diagnosed with anything, nor if they were ever to come to him and try to evaluate him. I don't think he'd be able to do it. He doesn't want to be diagnosed. There's nothing in it for him. It's a good point. Typoid, good morning. Been a while, yeah. I hope you've been doing well. Marcia, good morning. He's not human, and he makes you even more sick as Christopher Watt's mother. I hate to blame the way a person is on a parent, but she is something else. Have you guys seen the video that I have on my channel about her, where her interview? Cindy is one special individual. I don't KS. I don't think he had much of a thought beyond what he actually did. I would love to know, what his next step was. Did he really think he was going to get away with it? Was he going to, then, if he would have gotten away with it for any period of time, was he planning to sell the house and then, run off with Nicole, and the two of them would live happily ever after? Well, I hate to break the bad news to Nicole. If he killed his wife and he killed his children and disposed of them like that, if he would have stayed in the relationship with Nicole, eventually he would have gotten to that same point again, and he would have harmed her eventually. They don't just do it once and stop. Maybe they don't physically lash out like they did before, but they do. It's not something they can turn on and off. You can't be talked into it, to annihilating your family. You can't be talked out of it. The only way to stop someone from annihilating their family, someone who is on that path, to killing their family, is to get them, kind of railroad them away from the actual subject, move them into a completely different environment and surroundings and everything, reduce their stressors, everything about them. You have to change the entire person. And there's a very interesting study that was done out of New Queensland University in Australia, where they took one of the most in-depth studies of family annihilators. Now, most family annihilators end up they kill their family and then they kill themselves. Very few actually, survive it or have no intention of hurting themselves. Very few, but the ones that are still out there are rare. Yeah. That's very, very good point there, Linda. They thought once a cheater, always a cheater. Yeah. But those who, it's very interesting psychology, the psychology of a family annihilator is different from any type of killer out there. They really, truly believe that the world and everybody around them is punishing them. And they believe at the same time that as much as they are being punished, they believe the world is punishing those, of the rest of their family, their children, their wives, their aunts, their uncles, everybody who within their immediate family, they believe are being punished just as much, if not more than them. And they do it. And one of the underlying things that makes the family annihilators different is they think that they are saving their families from the torture of going through, continual pain. Not that, it's real. I mean, it could be 100% made up in their minds, and that they feel that the world is punishing them, and they feel that the world is punishing their family. And every little setback that happens in their lives, it's because the world is out to get them and out to get their families. That's, they're talking about, any other mental, disorder, but they do follow along, some other lines. Covert narcissist, he is rare, and I'm trying to figure out what was the plan after they're gone. Nothing beyond this. He may not have had a plan. He may not have had any plan at all. I mean, he certainly didn't make any moves along the way to say, like, he was going to cover this up. Some family annihilators will make, long-term plans after they eliminate their family. But most, again, end up killing themselves. They take themselves out of the picture as well. There have been, I lost track of how many there was in 2020. How many people, how many family annihilators killed their entire family and then killed themselves? And most of them in the news, they list them as murder-suicide, cases, and instead of actually really looking at what the dynamic of the family was. It's sad. Did I miss Kimmy Jean? Sure hope and pray he stays there. He is a monster. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. Yeah, he's going to be there in prison for the rest of his life. You enjoyed the prison video of Bill Cosby? The food tray photos make me miss working in the jail. The staff lunches were yummy. I'm sure they were. Not there, though. I don't have, where are my notes on that? Yeah, I don't have that notebook in here. Where's Minnie's dress? She's wearing a bathing suit. This is a bathing suit. I have the Mickey Mouse and I have a Donald Duck as well. Well, they're not. It's not mine. I mean, they belong to my son. But I just put it in the background. It's something of interest. I wish we could find NK and get her side of the story. You would think she'd be on every talk show. I don't think she wants the limelight. And I don't think that there is anything more to her story than what she talked to police about. From everything I learned about her and researched about her, she's a pretty boring individual. Most of her life, she's spent to academics. She's worked for a couple of different petroleum companies. But that's pretty much it. Doesn't do much. She was spotted. I can't remember how long ago it was now, but she was spotted in the background. I think it was TMZ or one of those tabloid shows like that. They were following a wealthy socialite's son and they were there to report on him. But Nicole was there in veil in the background with other friends of hers. But and she was photographed in that. I think all of those photographs are now behind a paywall with Getty Images, Getty. Getty. They buy up a lot of photographs and and then stash them behind a paywall. And it's kind of hard to search their database to even find out what they have. But then her daddy tried to scrub the internet of everything that had to do with her, delete her social media accounts. He hired an actual company that goes out and they delete everything about you on the internet. Your places of employment, social gatherings, anywhere you went to a concert, they try to erase everything. And that happens. It really does. Even in this age, there are companies out there, that's all they do is they specialize in erasing people from the internet. Now, nope, she's not in protective custody. She doesn't qualify for protective custody. The only ones that are able to offer protective custody or witness protection like that to the level where she would need it would be the federal government or the Bureau of Prisons. She's hiding in plain sight. She always has. It didn't take me and my friends but a couple of days to find her house. She actually has a house that she was buying. I don't know if she has it anymore, but she did back then. She had a house in a suburb of Boulder. I think it was a suburb of Boulder. I'd have to look at the notes again to refresh my memory of where the actual house was. But we found her. All we had to do was we traced her down through a power bill, and we found that the power was still on in her name at that address. It wasn't that hard. She's hiding in plain sight, and they tell you sometimes the hardest place to find people are right in front of you. When people are doing a deep dive on the internet trying to find out information about her and where she's gone and what she's doing, she could be standing right in front of you and you wouldn't even know it. Deco Painter and Tea. Deco Painter and Tea. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. And this person has nothing to hide. Would make it proactive in clearing their name. I would. Yeah. But, when it comes to Nicole Kissinger, though, who's going to believe her? Think of all the hatred that is out there from the beginning of that case and how everybody blamed her for everything that he did. He murdered his wife. They blame her. He murdered his kids. They blamed her. And then you had these idiots who started spreading internet rumors and lies about her all over the place, over and over again, saying that she was parked out front, that she gave him instructions. She talked him into it. And it went on and on and on for a good year plus. And some of them are still talking about it today like it happened yesterday. And they're still spreading lies about her. How is she going to clear her name from that? It would be damn near impossible to clear your name. If somebody went to that level of, extreme hatred and, muck lurking or mud lurking to drag up everything about you and to fantasize that you had more involved than you did. That's why I don't think she really did do much. Yeah, she had an affair with a married man. And as morally bankrupt as she may be, I don't think she aided in the actual murder of Shanann and the girls. I've never seen anything that evidence-wise that says that she did. Yeah, she's trying now. By changing her, she legally changed her name, but those the records were sealed. Scott Reisch and several other people I know who are have YouTube channels that are in the legal field They all tried to get access to those records, but the entire name change was done in a closed. Well, it wasn't done in an open court. It was done behind closed doors. So we'll never know what her name was changed to. And they sealed the record so nobody can actually get into the records themselves to find out what she changed her name to. But if I was a betting man, and I am, I would put money on that she probably took her mother's maiden name and that she's using something that is close to Nicole, something that that would remind her of the name. Because if you have to look at it as what does the federal government do when somebody goes into witness protection? They try to get you to pick a name that you're going to easily remember, and you're not going to foul up and say the last name or write the wrong name down on a document, or it's going to trip you up. So if your name is Nicole, maybe you change your name to Nikki, or you change your name to something else, but NK. So, but that's what the federal government does when someone goes into witness protection. They try to get you to remember, pick a name that you're going to remember. Did she always have a nickname? I know she did. I know exactly what her friends always called her growing up, and what she was known for. Her name was in college, but she could have picked that as her first name because it's something she's always known. Just drop the Nicole, pick her mother's maiden name, and her nickname as her first name. I don't know. If she writes a book, it probably would sell pretty well. I don't think she has enough information though to make it interesting. She's like I said, according to everybody that I've talked to who knew her, she's a pretty boring individual. She doesn't do much. She's not very adventurous. She kind of keeps to herself, and she's never made waves in her life before. Daddy's got a lot of money. Well, that's for damn sure. We don't know if they spread lies, as they never had a trial. She was caught in lies. She she bought Daddy to the police interviews, erased her phone. Doesn't smell right to me. All the data that was erased from Nicole's phone and Christopher Watts's phone, 100% of it was recovered. Text messages, photos, phone calls, call logs, pings off of cellular towers, 100% of it all was recovered. They have everything that came from her phone and from Chris's phone. And on top of that, both of their work phones. 100% of it. And there's still nothing there that proved that she was, culpable in the actual events. And what would stop the state of Colorado from wanting to prosecute her, or file charges against her if she really was involved? And you have to step back from it. I know a lot of people got really deep into it, and they want her to be guilty. They want her to have had some kind of knowledge, or either helped in the planning, or she aided in it, or something. I think she's just an idiot who got wrapped up in an affair with a married man. I mean, she's definitely morally bankrupt, because I don't buy the story that she didn't know that he was married. It was her job, to process the paperwork there in the office. She could have simply opened up his file, peeked in, and saying, "Oh, look, married, and has 2 children." That'd been right there in the insurance information, right there inside the file. Did she do it 6 months prior to or them moving there, or all that? That's all speculation. No one's ever been able to prove to me one way or another that any of that ever existed. I know where it first popped up online, but I don't know. Kyra, hi everybody from Australia who's writing a book. She was asking or suggested that Nicole Kissinger, the mistress of Christopher Watts, may eventually write a book. Um, I mean, a lot of people could write a book about this. The worst person to write a book about it was I think um, there have been a lot of people. Let's just say that there's a lot of people out there who have written or done movies or specials or stuff like that, and they've never even spent even a half an hour, really looking at the facts in the case. They base it all off of lies and speculation, things that that Chris may have said, or they try to paint a picture of Nicole from limited information that's out there. It's really surprising. But one of the worst people to ever write a book would have to be Miss Cadle. And set aside the fact that she plagiarized a large portion of her book, a large portion of it. All right, and set that aside. It's a terribly written book. It really is. I've read books that were written by high school students that were much they had more of an easier flow. They kind of draw you in to the story. Nothing there. I mean, it's a waste of paper. It really is. Kimmy Jean, are you taking off? I'm sorry, but thank you for being here if you are. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. Ricard, I don't think that she knew about what the monster was going to do to his family. Well, but she did know that thing about married and children. Exactly, Ricard. I don't believe her when she says that she had no idea that he was married and this made up conversation about all that. Pink Poodle. Well, I sold my book in eBay and received $104 for it. I almost felt guilty. I know quite a few people who've sold books through on eBay, because eBay owns a print on demand. Basically that's what Miss Cadle's book came down to, was print on demand. Amazon offers the same thing, but you write the book, you upload the PDF of it, an editor kind of goes through it if you can, if you want to pay for it, and then it just sits there digitally on the shelf until somebody decides that they want to buy it, and then they print one. Keeps overhead down a lot. But I'm not sure about the Pink Poodle. About you sold your book for $104. What was the book about? Christopher Watts? I'm sorry if you may have told me this before. Nordic Caveman, welcome to the stream. There's a channel that is Chris Defense generated. Oh, there are a lot of them. Nordic Caveman. There are a lot of channels out there that are Christopher Watts defending him in nature. I'm not going to mention their names, but I'm sure that a lot of people here in the community know exactly who I'm talking about. She has gone out of her way a lot of times to raise money for him, to drum up support for him, to get a new trial, all kinds of stuff. It's all bull, but Cadle? Oh, you sold your copy of what the letters. Sorry, didn't mean to cough into the microphone there. Chris wants brings views, drama, and conspiracy. Yeah, he does a lot of. That was one of the funny things. The conversations that I had, Linda, about. I think it was probably about 7 or 8 months ago. There was like 3 or 4 of us creators who were sitting around, and we were talking about the Christopher Watts case and how many views and subscribers were gained from it. We were talking about, did you see an increase in viewership and subscribers over Christopher Watts? I actually saw a huge number the opposite direction. When I started covering the Christopher Watts case, I saw a lot of people who walked away because, well, it was always the same thing. You didn't cover this, you missed this, you didn't talk about this, you need to cover this. And when I wouldn't do it, people left. They unsubscribed. They walked away. I couldn't factually support it, so I wouldn't cover it. And people just don't get that. But a lot of people did. I mean, look at that guy from across the pond. How many subscribers he gained from streaming and talking about it every single day in every chance he got. Yes. Christopher Watts has a sister. Oh, good morning, Stacy. How are you doing, sweetheart? I hope you're doing good. Staying warm out there. None are perfect. We all make mistakes, but I've always been repelled by a cheater. Yuck. Very unattractive quality. I agree with you there. Me and my wife were talking about this the other day. We kind of addressed it on a previous episode on the Taco podcast. To both of us, we both agree that as a society, especially here in America, can't speak for the rest of the world because we don't live there. But marriage and the sanctity of your vows, people's vows, seem to have lost meaning to a lot of people. If that's the way we are, though, as Americans, though, it works for you today. If you don't like it, throw it away. And I'm not saying that for everybody, but there are a large majority of our population out there that believes that if you're in a relationship with someone, it's not working out for you, go find someone else. Don't work at it, just leave, cheat on them, do whatever you want. It's all about you. Not you, Stacy, but we're talking about the general, about and it happens enough that they have an entire TV show based just about people who cheat. God bless everyone in Texas. Divorce, divorce, divorce. It's warming slowly in Texas. Later on tonight, when we get together, me and Tim, when we go to our poker party, we're going to do a live stream, not that you guys will ever, or anybody out there will ever get to see it. But we're going to do a Zoom with two of our really good friends who moved to Texas. They're down in the Galveston area, but we'll catch up with them tonight and find out how they're doing. We normally try to check in with them at least every couple of months to see how they're doing. They have all their kids live down in Texas, and they're retirees. I miss them dearly. People murder their families daily, but they are overlooked. For Chris Watt, who's there, no question he did it. Oh yeah, there's zero question that he did it. But at the same time, Linda, there are people out there going to believe. They're going to believe that he was innocent and he was set up. That there's some kind of evidence out there that that proves that he didn't do it. I haven't checked yet, but Chatterbox, if you're still here, I haven't checked to see if you responded back to my email. Chatterbox is going to be doing a mock trial, or she's taking part in a mock trial over regarding the Christopher Watts case. If you haven't checked out her channel, check hers out as well. Not my verbiage, check her channel out too. She's doing a great job on her channel. I missed a whole bunch of comments there, ladies and gentlemen. Last try, but I'm really curious about your opinion, Will. What is your opinion about the investigators going back to Christopher Watts after so many months while the case was closed? Are you talking about where they went to the Dodge Correction Center and talked to him, and he did his second confession? Because they've always left the door open for Tammy to go back and talk to him later on. That was something they've always made very obvious. What is my opinion about going back and talking to him later on? I think that you're able to, if the audio is better, you could definitely glean a lot more content from it. It's hard to get the inflection of what he is trying to say and what he's emphasizing on. I wish there was video and a better audio quality to it. But I think that a lot of what he had to say, he kind of downplayed his the importance of it all, especially around how he killed his daughters. I'm not joking. Just thinking about that, and what it took for him to kill his daughters. I mean, it brings me to almost tears just to think about the last seconds of their life as their father, the person who was there, supposed to be there to protect them, to love them, to help them in this world, as he smothered out and took their lives. How does somebody do that? It's insane. And he's never gotten into really what drove him to that point. I mean, he killed his wife. He lays her on the floor in the back of his truck and then puts his daughters in the truck so their mom is on the floor beneath their feet. And all that time on the drive out there, he could have stopped. He had so many chances to just stop. But he didn't. Too much of a coward, afraid. He didn't have to go that route. Could have killed his wife and then simply picked up the phone and said, look, this is what happened. And I always wonder, here we are 2+ years later. What would if he wouldn't have killed Celeste and Bella and baby Nico? Don't forget about baby Nico. What would they be like today? I'm watching the videos of Bella, and Celeste laughing, and their smiles on their faces. It's tragic. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. All for North Korea and couldn't get divorced. Oh, you're talking about the William Holt. I did that documentary with Vice TV, but it was also on Vice TV. Then there's an interview with me with ABC News, New York. They did it was right around the same time, but we were talking about the William Holt documentary. There's a larger version to it, and I still can't find it on anything, on YouTube. I keep on looking for it. Everyone, not every day, but I try to find it. But there's that little thing that's on YouTube is only 8 minutes, 9 minutes long. I can't remember how long it is, but there's an entire 30-minute episode of the entire thing, or maybe it's less than that. It might be 5 minutes on YouTube, but the entire thing is a lot longer. That's the second one that I've done. The second documentary that I've taken part in. Got another one that we'll talk about, but there's another one that it may be coming in the works soon. Well, more importantly, what and why do people steal kids for sex trafficking? There's something to get into and unwrap. So stop, some guilty asshole, Christopher Watts. Yeah. Me and my wife were reading about that bust that they had down in Georgia, where there was 19 children that were recovered in that sex trafficking and pedophile ring, and 11 of those 19 children were listed on the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they were with one of their parental parents. The parent knew exactly what they were doing and what they're involved in. And they had their children in it. That was just this past year in Georgia. Don't. Hey, everybody. You'll never guess who it is. Have a seat.
The seat of honor.
Oh, my gosh.
Howdy.
I gotta move this back a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't fall.
There you go. Yeah, it was up more that way. What's that? Where's shot glasses? I don't remember doing those. I didn't think that was.
Huh?
That wasn't my.
No, that was from the golf tournament.
Oh, from the golf tournament. Oh yeah.
It was in my bag, my golf bag.
I guess still have mine for way back then.
Gayla says, "Hi, Tim."
Howdy.
I need to clean this table up.
Yeah.
So went over, pretty much what we have planned for the day.
Oh, okay. Garage golf.
Yep, and poker.
Yep.
Linda says, "Tim." Tim had a haircut.
I did. Yes.
Tim got a haircut.
Definitely.
I need a
Sorry,
hair.
it's all
I need a
over the place
haircut.
right now, though. But it's, we got some serious rooster tail going on here right now.
That's probably as messy as your hair I've ever seen.
Well, you sleep on it all night. That's what happens.
Connie says, "Hello, Tim.
Hello.
Told my friend about the ashes you rescued in the Silver Heart. Oh, Stacy, yeah. That lady never said anything.
No, thank you.
Nothing.
That's crazy.
Nothing at all. She cried to the media and everything else about her dad's stolen ashes. And here I am. I helped get them back to her. She's just like, yeah. She's just totally nonchalant about the entire thing.
Crazy.
Well, I'd still do it again.
This time, just dump them all.
Well, you couldn't. They were
they're
in a sealed silver heart.
Not to be rude, I would never dump all that.
I told the police. I was like, I first off, those two guys, because where my shed is.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. I
was like, they don't belong here. These people do not belong in the golf course. I mean,
obviously.
I was like, that was like, this is sketch. These guys over here don't look like they should be here. And then I saw them, and I was like, but it turns out it was her boyfriend and his friend, or her ex-boyfriend or boyfriend. I can't remember what the officer was telling me. What their relationship status was.
Oh wow!
But
that's cool.
Sweet Tea Mama's hearing impaired. Thank you for the super sticker. Anita Butts says, "Hi Tim."
Hi Anita.
I haven't met you. Well, everybody, this is Tim.
I haven't been on here for a while, so.
No,
it's been a while.
Been a while. Jeez, I can't remember the last time we did a live stream together.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been months.
Yeah,
months and months. I think.
Anybody else awake in the house?
Oh, yeah.
It's my
Your
wife
daughter,
making
your wife, and your mom's there. I get upstairs and I look and I go, oh,
that means my dad
was gonna be happy about this.
If she's here, that means that either my sister or one of my nieces brought her over. If she ain't driving herself over here. Yay! Great.
So we got what? Garage golf at 12?
I don't know. I
That's
guess. What are we gonna do until then?
Probably breakfast, some coffee, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Typical stuff I do before golf.
We'll stop by the store.
Yeah. Out of beer.
Yep. Definitely out of beer. Well, I mean, I'm not out of beer. I've got an entire fridge in there full of beer. I wouldn't say it's full, but there's probably about 20 in there.
Huh? Oh, that's enough for the day.
Bye, Stacy. Have a good day, Stacy.
Yeah.
PVR. Everything that's in there is Bush Light, Bush Latte. Says right on the can, latte.
What?
Yeah. Every year during the summertime, they always put out limited editions, kind of like Keystone puts out the limited edition cans, but they changed the on the can. They changed it from Bush Light to Bush Latte.
That's not summertime. You said summertime.
Yeah. But you can still find them in the store, just like the red, the orange and white cans of Keystone.
No.
You can find them all year round. See y'all next week off. Everyone, now, yippee! RRH, my first live chat. Well, welcome to the stream. You got to go, sunshine. Have a great day today. Thank you for being here today. Hope you stay safe and warm. My dad drank Oli.
Oh yeah.
Oli beer.
Olympia. That's a. My stepdad used to drink that stuff. Made a special trip all the way from Maine. He drove around the country, and as soon as he got up to the Washington, he would just stock up on Oli and keep it in his trunk
Wow.
until he got back to Maine.
See, when I was younger, my dad drank Schlitz
Yeah.
and Old Style.
Old style. Wow.
Oh, I mean, Schlitz isn't that bad, but Old Style is just like that. That's got to be an acquired taste for that stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's acquired taste for all that old stuff.
RRH is the Right Royal Highness. You and Tim on Saturday night been beer drinking live is the greatest. Oh, thanks, Linda. Not the greatest for our livers though. Oh, when I was in high school, we drank Black Label
Oh, Black Label, yeah.
beer,
Oh,
and white cans of
Yeah.
beer.
yeah. The no name beer. Yeah.
Yeah, no name beer and Schmidt.
Schmitz.
Yeah. I have somewhere here, and it's I'm going to find it like later on when I don't need it.
Right.
But I've got an actual. There it is.
Ah.
Okay. That shows up on there. Olympia.
Olympia. Yeah. There you go.
Olympia beer. It's the water.
It's the water. Oh yeah. It is. So it gives you the bends.
Olympia beer. But I have another one that it turns out like this. It's got a hinge in the middle, but it's got the actual the polar bear
Oh wow.
on it.
Okay. Cool. That's cool.
I don't know where it is though. Probably in my golf bag. Everything finds its way to my golf bag eventually. Feed him well. Not my verbiage. Yeah, she's from Minnesota. She lives in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Linda. Yeah. You come for lunch, Tim? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim lives on the other side of the mountains, and he comes into town every couple weeks.
Every few weeks.
Yeah. And visits me. Not sure why. He's not sure either why he does it,
I'm gonna
but
start visiting other people.
Tim's apparently a really bad,
Judge of character.
My dad likes Schlitz and Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yeah, I pretty much exclusively drink either Pabst Blue Ribbon or Busch Light. Ya betcha. Funny shit. Have you ever watched that? You betcha.
No.
Oh my god, you got to watch it. If you guys want to watch Charlie. God, what the hell was Charlie's last name? Well, go ahead and look that up on YouTube. You betcha. You gotta watch that stuff. It's funnier than hell. Well, especially if you want. If you I guess you might have to know the verbiage. And Minnesota, Wisconsin, but that part of the United States. Funny stuff. But you betcha. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I've been watching usually is on regular TV or whatever is Maine Cabin Masters.
I've never seen that.
Oh,
What's that about?
it's about guys that are the Maine Kevin Masters. They obviously live in Maine, and they go around and they restore old cabins and camps and stuff.
Oh,
And they restore them back or make them awesome. So they get the
kind of what Dave does.
Dave
Woods.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So he only works
he's up in Alaska doing
yeah, but he only works like 4 months a year, because he makes so much money at it.
These guys, he's got quite a team and stuff, but it's a pretty cool show. I like it. So because it reminds me of home. I'm from Maine, so I see a lot of places up there.
Closer to St. Paul, but Hudson, I guess. Just north of Minneapolis. Spent most of my life there. It sounds cool though. On YouTube, I watch a lot of bizarre shit. I mean, besides what when I'm watching, true crime channels, a lot of what I watch is like techno mode.
Right.
Yeah. He reviews. He's in the UK, but he reviews like 80s electronics, and he talks about the war between Betamax and VHS, and there are so many different obscure things out there for recording audio, and video that have come out over the years. Things that you've never even heard of, but they were out there at some point. But techno mode, I watched that a lot. And Off the Ranch, Demolition Ranch, and then the cartoon that I was showing you last night from Mike Judge.
That stuff is fun. That's hilarious.
Tim looks nervous. You okay, Tim? Are you okay, Tim? Are you nervous, Tim? I don't think he's nervous. It's me. I see you. I see you. This man is never going to forgive me. He changed his name. I used to fuck up his name all the time. Sorry for my language, but I did. CAZP. CAZP. How would you say that?
Kaz.
Yeah. Not me. I'm an idiot. So he's now ICU. Some of these people I've known online for an awfully long time. I don't know if Janet's still here, but she's gone through like 6 or 7 different names in the past 3 years.
Oh, wow.
But her husband used to come on a podcast about fantasy football that I was on.
Oh,
called The Longest Yard.
Nice.
He was like a frequent pain in our ass because he would call in all the time, ask us, kind of like a troll, but it was always fantasy football related. We knew he was he had a good heart, and he kept it interesting though. We always knew that every episode he was going to call in. We knew it. It was going to be the first caller, or was he going to be like the 7th caller? We always knew it. We were like, okay, here he is again. But okay, donkey, yeah. Charlie Brevin, is it Brevin? His friend who has another channel, Linda. He does the Minotalk Minute. I think it's Charlie Brevin. That's another one. But that's like Wisconsin, He always ends every episode with "Go Packers, fuck the Bears."
Nice.
But he bleeps out the part about the fuck, So it's like, "Go Packers, up Bears," But it's bleeped out. I think it's Brevin, Charlie Brevin, but he's actually a stand-up comic. Because I've seen him at the local comedy place. he was there with another comedian from like Midwest comedian. I don't know if you'd call them comedians. Yeah. I had two names, Linda K. Listening and this one. What verbiage means most of the time, or how it's spelled. Spell it. Burns? Charlie Burns? I can find it really quick. Oh, that's the wrong search box. Oh. Oh. Start off with spelling Charlie, right? That would help, you know. All right. All right. Yeah. Betcha. You know he's got to be in. This is your betcha. Yeah. You betcha.
I love my Traeger grill. It's like the holy grail of grills.
I need a new grill. My grill's
Do you?
falling apart. Yeah.
Huh. I know he's got to be on here. Midwestern, Bush Light. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I can't find them right now really quick, but Wisconsin Minnetalk Minute. That Minnetalk Minute is his show.
Oh, okay.
And he does the Craigslist kicker.
Craigslist.
Yeah. He finds interesting things. It's like a little tiny synopsis. He finds things that that are listed on Craigslist, or it's like missing connections. It's like, I saw you at the the Five and Dime. You had the cutest brown hair, and he's like, well, let's make this connection happen.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Marcia lives in Minnesota as well. Bye, Lori. Have a great day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. I hope you all have a great day today. And stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Any parting words, Tim, of wisdom?
No, not wisdom, no.
You don't have any
I have
wisdom?
no wisdom.
Tim has no wisdom to share with you.
No, not today.
Sorry.
Enjoy,
Bye.
guys.